Right then, here we are for Qatar GP qualifying. Huge qualifying session. Biggest qualifying session of the year so far. I'm extremely excited because there's a lot on the line here. You can see that we've got the standings up as well, and I brought a little exciting something for the stream also. Why not? So yeah, rolling into this one early. Welcome Vlatka, hashtag Las Vegas. Let's change that. That's one of the advantages we get. Whoa, when we start a bit early. Why is it so difficult to find live TV? It's the sprint race at the moment in F2. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, change the hashtag. Welcome Martin, welcome Chai, munching on food. So you got a snack. You've got a snack in UF1. Right, let me change this description. Rafael Villagomez in P3. Welcome, Mr. Not So Nice. What's everyone's guess for this weekend's race result? Oh, it's difficult. I want to see quali first. Makes you wonder if they fix the bouncing of Max's car. So you can see the sprint results there, and you can see at the bottom the standing. So it's 22 points now. 22 points between Lando and Oscar. So Lando very much in the driving seat here for this championship. As it stands, Max would still take it. If everyone crashed out here, Max could still win the championship. But he'd need both Piastri and Norris to not score in Abu Dhabi and him to win. Now I bought a little gift. In a McLaren bag. We're bringing it back. Look at this. How cool is this? Oh. How cool is that? Mercedes F1 steering wheel. Like, actually. Ooh. Why am I not sim racing with this? Let's put that here. That adds a bit of spice, doesn't it? I don't think that's true, Chaya. If he finishes behind Lando, but neither of them score a point here. So if Max is 20th and Lando's 19th, and let's say Oscar finishes 17th, still goes down to the last round. Good to see everyone in the chat. Welcome John M as well. Yanis, Erudits, long time saying go Lando. Yeah, big pressure on Lando here, and he has bottled some qualifying sessions. Like, didn't he bottle Hungary? Didn't he absolutely bottle Hungary? Let me update the like thing as well. So we got a 77 to beat, chat. We've got to be 77 likes on the stream. We can do it. Get those likes in early now, and we'll beat it. Okay? Because right now we're on 17. It's going to change. That's actually what we're on now. Quite a nice little thing, that. Yeah, it's epic steering wheel. This is the Mercedes AMG SimLab steering wheel. And actually, I did one of these streams. Do you remember in Monaco? For Monaco, we were in the Netherlands at the factory. And with the Monaco Formula E, we were at Monaco. What's going to happen next year? Where are we going to be next year? What paper scissors you for it? 1v1. 1v1 online. They're not 10k, but they are expensive. John, if Lando outscores Verstappen by 1 point... Yeah, I think it's outscoring. If Lando outscores Verstappen here, then Verstappen's done. It's over for Verstappen. Erudits, he said he would have won championship races if he was in the McLaren. Oh, really? Black is 45 seconds behind. No worries. Feel free to sync it up. We've got the mods in the house here. I was tempted to put the ticker tape up, but I think that would just be maybe a little bit too ambitious. So yeah, the F2 sprint is done, and we now turn our eye to qualifying for Qatar. Now everyone's saying it's going to be really difficult to overtake at Qatar. By the way, who saw my video on Lance Stroll's insane? He just hacked Formula 1. Apparently, he wasn't talking about at all on the broadcast, but Lance Stroll just turned the sprint race into free practice 2. Like an absolute genius. Welcome, Lone Wolf. Despite Snowder getting a P5 penalty, he's still able to start a P5 due to Antonelli. But it's not about starting now. The sprint race is done. They've changed the format now. So he finished 5 seconds, but the Antonelli penalty was interesting because it was given, it was withdrawn, and then it was given again. It sounds like that's quite interesting, whatever was going on with that. We've lost a like. I was just thinking, like, we went from 23 to 22. We're going backwards, chat. We're going backwards. He had nothing to lose. Let's have a look down the sprint as well here. So you can see, yeah, Gasly, Stroll, Colapinto. Stroll's got a 16-lap scrubbed pair of softs. Is that going to be like the tyre to have? Erudit says odds of Lando winning championship was too high. What are the odds right now? Yeah, you can see at the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side. That's what we've got in terms of points at the moment. Incredibly, Mercedes are P2 in the constructors. It really doesn't feel like that, and that's massive credit, I think, to Kimi getting some points as a rookie. That's huge for Mercedes getting P2 there, I think. Martin Brundle is in Qatar. He just doesn't do the sprint race grid walk. He doesn't do these B-rate grid walks. Only does the main ones. Dapty says sprint was the most boring thing I ever saw. Can anyone name anything more boring than the Qatar sprint? Apparently. I think it was quite interesting from a data perspective. I'd imagine on TV there's nothing happening. 5-2. That seems pretty good. Pretty good return if he wins. Priyanna says Ferrari not performing the entire year. Yeah, Ferrari just absolute joke. Also, look how Leclerc has out-qualified Hamilton. I need to repost some of the shorts that we made a year ago when I was like, this could not be good for Hamilton's legacy. Do you need a SimLab wheelbase? No, you don't actually. You just run it on any wheelbase and connect it via USB. Dapty, how SimLab Mercedes wheel? I don't really use it. It's so nice. I don't really use it. It's so unbelievably nice, this wheel. It's crazy nice. So we should use it more. We should use it. What am I using at the moment? At the moment, I'm using the Asher wheel. So we could swap from the Asher wheel to the SimLab. I mean, just looking at it, it's just like it's such a nice wheel, carbon fiber wheel. Black is hoping this is going to be a great and clean qualifying. Yes. So for a clean qualifying. Chai, one thing I need to get used to seeing Ferrari so low. Yeah, that's pretty rough for Ferrari. I mean, Hamilton's basically last in that race. He's 7 seconds off Hülkenberg. I feel like he just gave up then. Hamilton also had the slowest lap in that race. Lewis Hamilton was the slowest person in that race. Ferrari lost about 300 million this year. Is that on... Surely they don't get that much in bonus. What? Because the difference between P2 and P4 in constructors is not $300 million. Yeah, that's why we said that last year. We were like, Leclerc might batter Hamilton here. And that's not going to be good for Hamilton's legacy. And people are like, oh, Hamilton's legacy is secure. Remember, he'd won like 3 races for Mercedes or something, I think, that season. I don't think they've lost billions in car sales. I'm still wearing a Ferrari top. Now, I'm not really a Ferrari purchaser. Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason I'm not buying a Ferrari, is because they're 4th in the constructors. It's for that reason and that reason alone I've decided to buy a Peugeot instead. George Russell on 300 points. George Russell? What kind of fantasy land do we have to enter where George Russell's in the contention for this championship? Like, did George Russell have some retirements this year? Miami sprint race is nasty too. Why do there sprint race in Qatar? What would be the best circuit for a sprint race? Chai said, I saw a video on social media where Sainz was on stage and he was asked how it felt to be the last Ferrari win. I think it took him a bit until he realised it's true. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't... He was driving for a Ferrari last year, so it hasn't been that long. It's only been like 23 races or something. Actually, that is quite a long time. Qatar doesn't have much drama anyway. Only thing that happened to go wide. Yeah, I think the most exciting thing for Qatar, instead of mandating these 2 tyre things, they should say, if you get a track limit, you have to do a drive-through. I think that would be the most interesting thing. How long to qualifying starts? 39 minutes till qualifying. It's funny because I think the drivers have to do press conference after the sprint race, when they're probably like all that happened in the championship with that sprint race is kind of a difference of 3 points. The difference between Verstappen and Piastri is 3 points. Actually, is that how it works? 6, 7, 8, 5, 6. I'm failing to how to do basic maths again. 3 points or 4 points? 8 minus 5 is 3. But then 6, 7, 8. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate it. Not Qatar. Anything but Qatar. Olivia Aswood said, "Do you find Hamilton's views quite rude?" He's always been a bit like that from McLaren. So I think he is finding it very frustrating, but he's always been a bit kind of snarky, I would say. Maybe with Mercedes, like this is like before Mercedes, with Mercedes, but even with Mercedes, like I actually like that about Hamilton. I like the fact that he was a bit snarky like that. But it might be a surprise to people now that he's looking a bit sulky and rude. Ferrari attire not locked in many shops. No one's stealing. People are returning. People are robbing shops, but they're leaving all the Ferrari merchandise. Is that what you're saying? Aerodits need to add longer straights in Qatar. Yeah, only one DRS zone. For me, it's quite good on the motorbikes under the lights. I think for an endurance is quite good because I think it's over an endurance race. You can look after the difference in looking after the tyres has a big difference. But then they've taken that away here. They've taken away the big factor of Qatar, haven't they? Welcome, Mudder. Yeah, let's smash those likes. 29 likes, everyone. We want to get these likes up to 77. Battery Bottas. Young Lowdown wants Lewis to retire. Dude seems uninterested anymore. Should go enjoy his life and give that seat to Ollie Behrman. Were you saying that a year ago? Has this been bad for his legacy? Hamilton earning 60 million a year at Ferrari. I just said it was going to go the same way as Sebastian Vettel at Aston Martin. That's what I said. Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion, had some good times at Ferrari. Never won the championship, but pushed people close. Went to Aston Martin. It was pretty sad to watch. And the one thing I said is that the possibility for things to be shaken up in 26 could we have to see what happens in 26. At the moment, he's finishing the season with a whimper here. I mean, Ollie Behrman has beaten both Ferraris. Priya says Hamilton loads of stuff. He's frustrated to the max. Yeah, the Ferrari seem. I mean, you could say that maybe Ferrari have gone all in on 26, because they're not fighting for a championship here. I mean, they are fighting in constructors. They can still get P3. They can still get P3 in constructors. Increase the brightness and show the map. We'll swap over to we'll swap over and we'll show it when we get closer to the start of qualifying. Can you show the SimLab wheel for a second? It's got the Hamilton clutch. It's a very nice wheel. Formula One. Go watch my interview with the CEO of SimLab. We talk about it. Hamilton spotter seems so bored too. When is the giveaway? Not on that one. There is a giveaway just closed for a controller. And I think there'll be some more giveaways in December. I'm trying to do giveaways. I do giveaways most months, actually. Chai, is that generally how F1 steering wheels look like? Yeah. So, F1 steering wheel, you've got the 3 rotaries down here. This is Mercedes, you've got HPP, so you've got like engine maps, you've got all sorts of stuff in the middle, strap buttons here, you've got these, you've got 3 like encoders, 1, 2, so I'm doing it backwards, it's difficult to do in my head there. You got the buttons, you got the WhatsApp button obviously. Buttons on the back here, bar shifter, clutch with adjustable travel, just the one clutch on this. Grips. This is for I think pressure testing the wheel because it needs to be waterproof. Rev bar on the front. And a massive screen. The Conspit PW1. I think we'll be reviewing that one. That's also carbon, isn't it? We actually unboxed that Sim Racing Expo. So, why Gabby is the best rookie? Bortoletto. He's finishing strong. I would say everyone else would say Hadjar is better though. Can you give a good reason why Bortoletto should win it over Hadjar? Drew Higgins, do you think George Russell has more pace in Qatar than Lando Norris? Well, you can't overtake in the sprint. So let's see what happens here in quali. Let's see what happens. I think this qualifying is going to come down to track limits a little bit. There'll be some drivers who may be on great laps and they just exceed track limits on the exit. Although we did see Tsunoda get he got his penalty for exceeding track limits on the way in, which is quite funny. Jung says Kimi the best rookie. Chai Kimi. Dapty Kimi overhated. Okay, let me ask it in chat. Who is the best rookie this season? Remember, last year we had 0 rookies. This year we got quite a few. So who is the best rookie? We've got Antonelli, Hadjar, Behrman, Lawson kind of, wouldn't really count him. Bortoletto. Black says Kimi without doubt. Young Hadjar, serious pension, but Kimi is the best. Dapty, Kimi statistically, but I think Hadjar. Drew says Behrman. Eldis says Hadjar. Honestly, for me, I think Hadjar. I think Hadjar to come into what is a very difficult team situation, and also from what happened in Australia where he span out on the formation lap and got battered, I think mentally that must have been very tough for him. I think he's really bounced back. I think he's kind of been embarrassing Lawson. But I can also see Antonelli. I like Antonelli's vibe. For me, it's Antonelli's been able to keep up with several of the very experienced decorated drivers. He kept Verstappen off race 2 ago. I don't see any of the drivers doing that. Davison says Kimi one of the worst. Come on, Gabby or Ollie. Terrible cars, great performance. Erudit's Kimi is best car. It's no good yet. Yeah, but you can't knock him for having a better car. Young says Ollie is really good to put Ollie and Hadjar equal. I wouldn't quite put Behrman that high, but Behrman's had some good races because definitely some good races because Haas often have to do very weird stuff on the tyres. I don't know what is saying in the championship, but I don't feel like Behrman has been embarrassed by Ocon in any way. In fact, I think Behrman has made Ocon look maybe more average. Erudit saying Kimi is so far behind George in the points. Yeah, so how can, honestly, for people saying Kimi's the best rookie, how can you say that when he's got half the amount of points of George Russell? Like, when we think about great rookies in the past, like Lewis Hamilton, Vettel, they're not scoring half the points of their teammates. They're pushing their teammates to the limit. Like Hamilton came in and just pushed Alonso to breaking point. Yeah, I'm talking Hamilton rookie season 07. You know, Piastri's rookie season was good, but he took a while to warm up. But he was impressive. He was calm and considered for a rookie. You know, George Russell's a rookie coming in the Williams. It was kind of difficult to see, but he was battering his teammates. I don't think Norris as a rookie was blowing everyone away. That's very subjective, but he didn't have a Hamilton level rookie season. Davison says Hamilton and Max are built different. These are legends. Well, I actually didn't say the name Max. You said the name Max. But I accept that. Yeah, they are legends. But would it surprise me if Hadjar won a world championship in the future? No. Well, I think Hadjar could win a world championship. Young saying, I'm not saying Kimi's one of the best on the grid, but he's definitely really good. George is a top 3 driver on the grid right now, so honestly that's why Kimi isn't close. He's not as good as George. Hopefully Kimi gets better next season. Quali been no good. Did also get the penalty here. But yeah, I think Antonelli could also be a future world champion. Is Bortoletto going to be a future world champion? I don't think so. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think if you put Bortoletto in that McLaren, and arguably he should be in a McLaren, right? Wasn't he a McLaren junior driver? I don't think Bortoletto's going to win a world championship. I don't think Colapinto's going to... What about worst rookie? Bit harsh. But who would you say for worst rookie? Welcome, Adam. Who are you going for worst rookie of the season? Alex Albon was driving to the track in a rental car very casually, missing junctions, going over the chevrons. I'm sure they would have wanted Sky to show that. Jack Doohan, the OG rookie. I think Jack Doohan got done so badly. Dapty say Doohan. That's probably the correct answer, isn't it? Probably is Doohan. Erudit says Colapinto. Colapinto's lasted longer than Doohan. Oh, let me try and refresh that chat. The chat's not working. There we go. Is that caught up now? Doesn't seem like it's caught up to me. Oh, there we go. Lawson. Yeah, Lawson hasn't... I think no one... Could anyone complain if Red Bull put Lindblad in for Lawson next season? Chai says Doohan or Lawson, but I think Lawson maybe partially because he was thrust into Red Bull. Yeah, can we forget that Lawson started the season in the Red Bull? What a mess Red Bull have made, by the way. If Red Bull had just done a better job with their second driver, that second driver could have helped Verstappen. You got to remember, Michael Schumacher had people like Rubens Barrichello, who helped him, who helped Michael Schumacher, would literally pull over and give race wins to Michael Schumacher. And when you're talking about these small margins at the end of the season, Michael Schumacher's got 7 world championships. We might be talking about Max Verstappen with 5. By the way, isn't it scary that Max Verstappen could be winning his 5th world championship here, and in 2021 he had none? Doesn't that make us feel old? We've been just doing these streams for a long time. It's Gasly battering Colapinto every race like Alonso battering Stroll. Honestly, I think Red Bull's a difficult team. Verstappen is in such a league of his own. But I think that's a failure of the team. It's a failure of the team to, like... It's a bit like if you had a football team where your striker is winning the Golden Boot, but your team's getting relegated. That's just a failure of the team, I think. Young says Gasly is not battering Franco at all. They've been P18, P19 every race. Is it relative battering there? Charlie, not wrong. Davison, I don't like Lawson, but Lindblad isn't that good as well. His performance on F2 is very poor. Who's winning F2, by the way? Who's winning F2? Is that the chatter? I don't really know what's going on F2 this season. I just think F2 seems to be so engine dependent. It's like karting. They're all used to it from karting, where it's so the engine lottery is all dark arts getting the best engine. Makes a nonsense of parity. Formula 1 has more parity because you basically have homodulation, but like you have development cycles, which gives everyone the time to develop and catch up. You ironically end up with more parity than in a spec championship. The lap times are closer in qualifying. Was there really a difference in performance in doing a Colapinto? Surely we can do the analysis on it. Dapty hopes for sure. I think it's Richard Dunn. You don't know. Hasn't he left McLaren though? Hasn't Dunn left McLaren? Dunn left McLaren. I'm sure, because last time I was down at McLaren, it was all a bit... I was speaking about Alex Dunn and it was all a little bit awkward. Richard Dunn. Is it Alex? Isn't it Alex Dunn? I think Red Bull should be Yuki and Lawson next season, or RB. I think put Hadjar in the Red Bull. Why not? But that means Tsunoda is going to be gone then. We'll see if Tsunoda moves. So where is Alex Dunn now? Alex Dunn seems to be good enough to go into Formula 1. So where could he go? Could he get picked up by the Red Bull Academy? They could slot him in the RB. Thing is, it's kind of irrelevant if you're the fastest, isn't it? It's just, it's not that relevant. It's just, do you bring budget to the team? What you want to be is you want to be a fast driver who also brings budget. So yeah, shame for McLaren. They're losing a talent. They lost Taylor Barnard. He's gone to DS in Formula E. It's funny because DS have such a different like way of dressing than McLaren. Like McLaren wear like t-shirts. DS are all about like collared white shirts. So it's like it's funny to see him at DS. I'll hopefully catch up with Taylor Barnard soon. Bottas and Perez will be interesting. I mean, it could just be they're chilling it right at the back of the grid. Also, McLaren pretty much already has their future already on the grid with Lando and Oscar. What if McLaren? Let's say the McLaren is nowhere next season, and let's say Lando's world champion. Surely Lando at that point is going to have would he have the pick of the grid? Would Ferrari replace Hamilton with Lando? Next season will be interesting because no one can zoom past in the straights anymore. Yeah, these engine regs next year. I think a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in the way that Formula 1 is being kind of looking at these strategic decisions. But yeah, I think Bottas and Checo are both going to struggle, so it's going to be relative. I think that Cadillac will probably struggle with a lot of reliability issues. I don't think it's going to be a Brawn GP situation. But you never know. This is the time where you could have a Brawn GP situation. Welcome, Amitan. Lando's nothing without a fast car. He'll still be the world champion. He'll still bring a lot of marketing and budget and stuff. Companies will want to sponsor Lando. So yeah, I think Lando will hold the cards there. I mean, Lando is not going to drive for McLaren forever. It's be very unlikely. We say that Max has been driving for Red Bull, but even Max was driving for Toro Rosso. McLaren made Lando who he is. Dapty won't do as well as he does now. Younger, honestly, Cadillac could be good. Yeah, I mean, there is a chance. There's a chance. I think it's most likely they'll be terrible, but there is more of a chance than usual that they could flip it. We need to change though. So many dry races season we won a quali session. Aero's gone out of control. I don't think Formula 1 is ready for like a Formula E style races where there's lots of overtakes. Drew, do you think McLaren's not going to put much money in F1 26 other teams? I think they're going to put loads of money in because they get return on it. They can sell sponsorships for so much more because they're the world champions. They get so much more TV time. So they can sell. So it's basically like ROAS. It's just return. It's just a return on it. The more they put into the car being fast, they make multitudes more money on advertising. Black has got the link. Autosport Awards. Does anyone not know what's going on in the Autosport Awards? Welcome, Mad Max. Grid. I think Perez will be start. What Perez Bottas will be fine. It will be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. Davidson said, I think Lando is pretty good. He kind of shut me up with this recent performance. Lando, after the summer break, is kind of locked in a bit. I think he might have put some of his other things on the side as well. I know I was speaking with Super GT in Germany. We had a chat at a bar. And I think, well, I know he has. I can say it. He's left quadrant. So maybe that reflects on Lando kind of focusing more on his racing than business things. Priya says, I saw your post about F1 2027. I don't understand F1 26. F1 26 is going to be a paid DLC. Max Verstappen. Coming off the back of Vegas, is he going to put it on pole here? If Verstappen puts this on pole, it's interesting. Just looking at Verstappen in Barcelona. How is Lando winning Silverstone moment of the year? Have you voted? Have you voted for Creator of the Year? Black has got the link in. If you're not aware, I am actually also I've been nominated like Lando Norris in the Autosport Awards, so please vote for me. We're by far the smallest creator there. We might be like the sympathy kind of nomination. Erudits, this could be a start of a Lando 8 World Championship in a row. I can't see that from Lando, but I mean there could be a team that gets the. I don't think Formula One is going to allow a team to win 7 in a row again, like Mercedes did, for example. I think the sport is there's too much money in the sport. Don't know what's going on Sky Sports. It's all a bit weird. There's too much money in the sport for that to happen. Who would you vote for Creator of the Year if you couldn't vote for yourself? I mean, I've worked with Lissy a few times. She's very, very good at what she does. In fact, this time last year I was in Brazil with her. So I've worked with Tiggy as well on these streams. She's very, very good. I'm sure some of you remember Tiggy. Probably be working with these people again in the future. Erudits vote. Yeah, you can vote me. I'm actually in there. If anyone's going to win 8 in a row, it's Max. Well, I doubt he's going to win this one in a row, but I could see him. Let's see what happens. I could see him moving to the best team for the next regs. Yes, 14 minutes to go, everyone. Just 14 minutes. You know what I should do? You know what I'm going to do? I should put that image on here. Why am I just the world's silliest person? Hang on. Look. And then we should do like hashtag vote. I'm so not very good at these things, right? Ah, it hasn't because I paused the syncing on here. What am I talking about? I can just download it. Why am I such an idiot? You'll see what I'm talking about, chat. Greg James to host. Greg James to host. Okay, I'm going back on Genius Track now. Oh yes, look at me. Look at this, chat. There we go. That's actually me. Autosport Creator of the Year. I'm going to pin that. I don't think I can shout about this enough. getting ready for qualifying. I'll get the timings and everything. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind voting for me, it would be much appreciated. F2 winner Vershaw, so he's won. What do you think of Misha? I haven't really spoken with him, but his dedication for stuff at the ring is super cool. I think traditionalists don't. I think it must be very difficult for him because I reckon a lot of traditionalists don't like him making videos about the Nürburgring. Right, there we go. Welcome, Yolanda. Yolanda voted. I knew I could count on your vote. Chat, who's voted so I can thank you personally for your vote? It feels like running for president. It feels like running for high school president. How cool is that, though? Pretty cool. This is an award-nominated stream. You're an award-nominated chat. Try voted twice. Chat, give yourselves a clap on the back for being. I don't know. I don't think clap on the back is a phrase. I think I could probably combine two there. But give yourselves a clap on the back for being award-nominated. Blacker votes every day. V-neck voted. Be unbelievable scenes. No one would expect it. This would be Brawn GP because we are by far the smallest crater. And it's 2026 as well. It rolls forward. It rolls forward. 10 minutes, by the way, everyone. 10 minutes till the start of qualifying. Oscar Piastri is looking super relaxed. Just got to execute it. Very, very, very relaxed. I feel like Piastri is kind of also locked in a bit. And I could see... Imagine Piastri next season. He starts the season, he's just shaved his head. Like, I can see Piastri just, like, going through a transformation to, like, move past this adolescence where he's, like, he's overachieving for, like, a young driver to now he wants to really lock in. I could totally see that. Yeah, please also share the link as well. I'll have to create some videos. I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna create stuff as well that you can share. Whoa! Oh my days! Oh my goodness! That's as far as it goes. I think we got a good position as well. Left midfield. Left midfield here is pretty good. Just cutting on the right foot. Top bins. Misha Schauderin in goal. We've got Misha Schauderin in goal. Christina Rocchi is left back. Eric centre back. David Land is like right sided centre back. Then there's me left midfield. Arava just like playing box to box middle. Tiggy on the right wing. Then it's all about the link up here on the left side with Christina, me, and Lissy McIntosh. It's like Real Madrid. Matt and Tommy through the middle, and then James Coker playing right wing. Interested having a left-footed right winger there, but it's a good lineup. Yeah, what else have you voted for in the Autosport Awards? I don't know how the voting works. Grida thinks Kimi could be the next Max. It's cool you can vote for Kubica. Anyone voted Taylor Barnard, friend of the channel Taylor Barnard, for Rookie of the Year? Kubica Le Mans win. So what we got to do is we got to get on the endurance forums and ask people to vote for Kubica in the 499p, and then also they can slot in a cheeky vote for us. If Ferrari were a football team, they'd be Liverpool this season. Well, they didn't win the championship last season. Erudit says, best driver Lando, best team McLaren, rookie Hadjar. Right, we've got to find a home for this. Let's put it up there. There you go. You can sit there. Because we're just 7 minutes away, everyone. 7 minutes. What's Matthew McConaughey doing an advert for now? What is he advertising? He's on a bus. He's trying to catch a plane. This advert's a bit too long for me. Heathrow. He's advertising Heathrow Airport. How's Heathrow got the money for ads? I've never seen that. He literally advertised Heathrow Airport. Every dispute between Rocky and Kireth. Close one. Glad you've lent me your vote, though. I appreciate it. Okay, we're 6 minutes away till qualifying. What we're trying to see here is how are the McLarens going to be? How's the Mercedes going to be? Obviously, Antonelli was pushing it in the sprint race. Maybe Lance Stroll, who had the fastest lap in the sprint race. Stranger things have happened. Oh, it's an AI thing for Heathrow. Okay. I don't really understand adverts. Dabdy says best driver Lando. Best... Well, that... You vote for the people you like. Welcome McGurkin, welcome along. You're in time. There's 4 minutes to go. Look at the drivers getting launched. They get what happens at Qatar? They have a cannon, a human cannon, on the other side of the paddock, and because it's a bit of an unusual pit lane paddock thing, you'd have to go around and cross a bridge. They actually put the drivers in a human cannon, and it launches them over the back of the paddock into the pit lane. They put up a big let in the pit lane, and it shaves off at least like 7-8 minute walk. So that's why you saw the dots moving there. Fastest lap was Gasly. Did Gasly do better on soft tyre? It was... Ooh, it could have been Gasly. Both Alpines also did that strat. Matt and Tommy can wait here. Matt and Tommy are going to pick up plenty of awards. This one we'll take this one. Track temp 10 degrees colder than the sprint race. Good spot. 26 degree. Congratulations Sebastian OJ on her 9th World Championship. Did he win in Saudi? Alex, I know this isn't your sim stream, but I'm hovering over the buy button Motor R9 V3 and CS VTV. I don't know too much about the CS VTV, but that seems like a very good price because the R9 is £299, isn't it? So therefore you're getting the CS for £129. So I don't understand how you're getting it so cheap. For me, that's a yes situation because the Moser R9 is a good deal for £299. Even though I don't know too much about the CS wheel, I know that it's better than the ES wheel, and the ES wheel is already £130. So are you sure it's not £529 or something? Why am I wearing a Ferrari t-shirt? Just a card carry member of the Tifosi, mate. Amitan says, is Tsunoda better than Gasly? Difficult to say. This is the thing about when you're driving for Alpine. No one really knows how good or bad you are. Piastri set a new track record. But surely Gasly went faster, or definitely Stroll went faster than Gasly, didn't he? Stroll was rapid. Right, chat, we are just 2 minutes away from the start of qualifying. Does anyone want me to explain how qualifying works? Does anyone not know how qualifying works? There's no stupid questions here, I just need to know. I just need to know. Tsunoda was terrible on low grip tracks. Well, it gets a bit dusty here, doesn't it? Davison said it's Stroll. Stroll was 1.5 seconds quicker than Piastri. I literally made a video on it on Formula Fan TV. Apparently lots of the drivers lined up start qualifying. That's very early. Still 2 minutes to go. Not that I can see. I can't see anyone lined up.
Okay, crack on.
That would be extremely early. So I can't see drivers being lined up to start qualifying. What do you think of the cameras C5? Honestly, I don't know what cameras are doing in sim racing, because I feel like they need to do something a bit. To be fair, they did something different. Oh no, sorry, there were cars that went out. They've just shown a replay of it. There were loads of cars that went out, and Ocon's saying there's almost a crash. Everyone released their cars at the same time, and everyone's going to be blaming each other. But it's one of the situations. If you release all the cars at the same time, there's going to be a crash. It's like if the lights go green on the cross junction all at the same time, there will be a crash. And I'm not sure you can blame anyone individually. You have to blame everyone. Explain qualifying. So there's going to be 3 parts to qualifying today. We're going to start with Q1, which means for 18 minutes, all 20 cars are going to have the track open to them to set as fast a lap as possible. Okay, so they're going to go around setting laps. They'll come in, change tyres, they'll go around again. But in those 18 minutes, they've got a window to set their fastest lap. At the end of the 18 minutes, the drivers will finish their laps, and then we'll see who the 5 drivers are, the slowest 5 drivers. We'll then drop those 5 drivers out of qualifying, and we'll return for Q2, which will be, I think, maybe 15 minutes or 12 minutes of qualifying. And again, so the top 15 drivers will go around, try and set the fast lap times, and at the end of that, we'll lose the bottom 5 drivers from that, and then we'll be left for Q3, the final part of qualifying, with the fastest 10 drivers, and they will qualify for their position in the race tomorrow. And P20 up to P10, P11 should have been taken care of already, because you take those lap times subject to penalties. I kind of explained it very poorly at the end, but hopefully I got there. Welcome, Chow. I'm a new viewer sub for you. Thanks for having this. Let's go McLaren. Let's go McLaren. Let's do it. Welcome to the community. McGurk, I think you'd be proud. I am proud to be nominated, but you know what I'm like? I'm like, this could be a massive underdog story. Like, we come from nowhere. We don't have any connections. You know, it's this community we've built is been built from the ground up. Like, we haven't been cynical. We haven't tried to. This is like unsponsored. We're not like an industry plant. It's all been just like people having fun. So what a story it would be. What a story. I'm not saying anyone else isn't like that. Ah, Gordon Ramsay's here. They put Michelin star chef. I'm sure there'll be somewhere in the F1 broadcasting rules that you're not allowed to say Michelin or write Michelin because it's a competitor to Pirelli. But they wrote on the screen Michelin star chef, and I'm pretty sure that will be a breach. What do we think, chat? What do we think about 25 lap rule? I think they should scrap it here, because I think at this racetrack it's more punishing. See? Welcome, Den Outlander. Okay, everyone. Qualifying is underway. So, you can see there are drivers starting their laps. So, Carlos Sainz is on a fast lap. His first sector, 30.4. Alex Albon is also on a fast lap. So we have it's all mixed up now. There's drivers starting fast laps, and there's drivers who are just coming out of the pits, warming up their tyres, which is quite interesting. It's a bit like the end of the sprint race. Whee! So Carlos Sainz will overtake his old teammate from last season, Charles Leclerc, and finish sector 2 with a 27.8. You can see Bortoletto's gone 0.3 quicker than Carlos Sainz in sector 1. So Bortoletto in the Sauber is on the move, but Carlos Sainz is now going to be approaching the final corner here, and we will see what he can do. So this will be the first lap time. And Carlos Sainz will be hoping to get through to Q3, the final part of qualifying. It's unlikely that lap will do it. It's very rarely the case, but it starts us off with a 122.3 and Hulkenberg 122.4. So Hulkenberg just a little bit slower. But we know Bortoletto was on a fast lap. Albon 122.3, but a bit slower than Sainz. And here comes Bortoletto. Will Bortoletto go fastest? Provisionally, yes, he does. A 121.9, so 0.4 quicker for Bortoletto. So Bortoletto, who did decently in the sprint race, on the move. And you can see the drivers slow down on the pit straight, Albon and Bortoleto, to let Hamilton through. Now they'll need to let, I think, Ocon through, unless Ocon's had to abort. No, Ocon's just finished his lap. So it's very confusing. There's going to be lots of traffic. See, Bortoleto's come to a stop on Q1 because he's letting Verstappen through. So the engineers will be letting their drivers know what to do because you don't want to get penalties for blocking other drivers. But that looked very confusing. You can see how that's affected Bortoleto. I mean, he's not on a fast lap, but it's still... you can't time these things, predict these things perfectly, like when you'll be back in the pits, basically. Because you're going to be letting cars by. As Piastri lets Alonso by, and then Piastri will also go on a fast lap. If he times this well, he might get a bit of a slipstream from Fernando Alonso. Welcome, Katuj. Good to see you back. Welcome back, Amy, as well. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay in the house. Who has the lamb sauce is the question. And Alfonso goes fastest with a big lap. 120.9 is a big lap from Alfonso. Under the 121s. That's a second quicker than Charles Leclerc. It's a second quicker than Charles Leclerc there. Ooh, that's interesting. Meanwhile, Hamilton with a very slow lap, 22.2. It's astonishing, really, to think that Lewis Hamilton came to Formula 1 in 2007 as the rookie teammate of the two-time world champion Fernando Alonso, who was the big dog, who was the biggest driver in Formula 1 at that time. Michael Schumacher had retired. And Hamilton embarrassed Alonso because he went toe-to-toe with Alonso so much that Alonso had to leave. And now it looks like Hamilton has is washing out of his career and Alfonso's going strong. It's almost like a Wayne Rooney situation where or Michael Owen situation where you're just so good young that he's kind of burnt out. And Fernando Alonso is a bit like Ryan Giggs or someone. He's just like consistently still driving. Half a second off Piastri track record. But Piastri with a 20.7. Russell with a 20.9. There we go. Good to see some familiar faces in the chat. Welcome back, everyone. We'll be back here tomorrow as well. And obviously back for Abu Dhabi. So Lance Stroll is going to go over and set a lap time. No, he isn't. He's going to start his lap time now. And Carlos Sainz looks like he's on a fast lap, potentially, which is an interesting strategy for Sainz. Because I'm not sure he boxed. I'm losing track here a little bit. But Sainz only up to 11. Keep an eye on the Ferraris, who are in big trouble. So the Ferraris are in big trouble here. As Alfonso is on an interesting strategy because he's not come into the pits, I believe. I think he's going for another fast lap. He's going for another fast lap here. So Alfonso, what's he going to do for his first sector? Is he on the move? Is he going to go purple, potentially? He does go purple. Purple means that's the fastest sector we've seen so far in this session. So Fernando Alonso is the fastest driver on circuit in Sector 1, 29.6. You can see that Oliver Behrman goes P5. He was 29.8 in that Sector 1. So let's see. Alfonso, what's he going to do in Sector 2? Is he going to be any better? Is he going to be slower? 27.4 Sector 2. That's 0.3 quicker than Alfonso, but it's actually slower than Behrman. Slower than Bortoleto. As Piastri comes into the pits. Lando Norris, meanwhile, has not had a good lap. So, and does Alfonso finish a lap? Yes, he will. Let's just see whether he improves. 120.9. He does improve a little bit to 120.894. And that's just enough to get him ahead of George Russell. Remember, this is not going to set at the top of the grid here. You basically don't want to be in the bottom 5. And who's in the bottom 5s? The Tifosi. Both Ferrari drivers, and Hamilton being told don't break into 10. Now, to me, 10 is a quite a tight hairpin. So, I think you need to brake for that corner, but that's a Ferrari strategy. Maybe they're going to shortcut it or something. Try Albon investigation after quali. Arjun, bro, his name is Alfonso, not Alonso. I know, that's what I'm saying. So Lando in P11. McGurkin with a good point. Could be due to the extra data collected from teammate Stroll earlier. Agent Stroll. Papa Stroll and Agent Stroll making that happen. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll is in P9. Can we start to think about what a cutoff is going to look like here? I think you might need to get... Honestly, I think you might need to get in the 1 minute 20s to get out of Q1 here. Polo, do you think Yuki would get dropped? I think so, yeah. Welcome back, Reed Van Loon. Good to see you. Chat, let's do a nations check here as well. I want to see where people are watching from. It was Netherlands earlier. Reed Van Loon's reminded me. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. Is it going to be a Netherlands domination for Super Max? As a lot of the drivers are boxing. Swiss broadcast now. Forget the Dutch live blog. It's all about the Swiss broadcast. Mentioning Ferrari having troubles. Chai from Netherlands, Yolanda Netherlands, Vlaka Croatia, Sahil from Kosovo, Katiuji Netherlands, Apstad Netherlands, Martin Netherlands, Reed Van Lee Netherlands. Guys, is there anyone watching who's not from the Netherlands? It's just I may as well be streaming in Dutch. At this rate, we should switch to Dutch. 8-Bit Alex UK, Drew from Australia, Ludwig from Sweden, Mark Vanderloo from Netherlands. I'll try to got all three open. Polar from Japan, Mr. Matrix India, Arjun India, Amit India, Philip Thompson from the UK, Chout from New Jersey. It's our first from the USA. Diaz GT3 from Brazil. Hopefully we'll be back in Brazil soon. I like being in Brazil. I want to go to Brazil more often. No telly from Barbados, Jazz from Nashville. Okay. Right, so the cars are... We're about a little bit more than halfway through the session. And the Ferraris have managed to get out of of the bottom 5, but they're going to be using up more sets of tyres, I think, which is interesting. I doubt you're going to be using soft tyres for the race. You may as well use them all up now. Polish from Japan, the US, and the UK. Yeah, I need to get a Dutch passport. Am I eligible for Dutch passport? Can I be an honorary Dutchman? Ish from Canada, Art from Thailand, Brad from Washington, Fireballs US, Dragster Bakersfield, Amy from Austria, not Australia. Okay, so Piastri's P3 at the moment. Meanwhile, Hadjar had gone fastest there. So Hadjar with a 20.6, and I think the cutoff could be a 21 point. I think a cutoff could be a 21 dead. I think you could need to do have to do a 21 dead to get through here. Because I'd be surprised if the Williams don't have the pace, and Gasly's already gone under the 1 minute 21s. So the fact Gasly's gone under it in a tractor, to me indicates as Max Verstappen goes provisionally fastest here, 120.5, shot across the bows there. Behrman with a 121.1. Ocon's on the fast lap right now. You'd expect the Williams, who set some of the fast laps, to be going a bit quicker, but we're going to find out now because Albon's going to set his lap time. Does he get out of the drop zone? Yes, he does. 120.9. Carlos Sainz, I think he will also get out of the drop zone. Will it be a 120.9 as well? 120.7. I think you're going to have to do 1 minute 20s here to avoid getting knocked out. That means that Charles Leclerc would need to improve. Hamilton, it would be on the edge. Lando Norris goes fastest, 120.1. It's a lightning time for Lando. What about Oscar Piastri and Kimi Antonelli on the move as well? So Oscar Piastri, will he be able to beat Lando Norris? I'm not sure. I don't think so. No, P2 for Piastri. But keep an eye on Antonelli here. Antonelli could be cooking something. Could he go P3? No, P4 for Antonelli. 120.5. So an order is starting to appear. And you can see the drop zone right now is already a 1 minute 21 point dead. So I think you're going to need to do 1 minute 20s. And Ocon hasn't done it. That's not good news for Ocon. He's done a 121.1. Behrman does do a 120.6. And what about Lance Stroll? He's about to start his lap. So we'll find out with Lance Stroll. Ocon time... was Ocon time deleted? We're streaming from London here. Amy, I realise I'm 1 year older than Lewis and single like him. Maybe you want to put your dating profile in the chat. Anyone who's interested. Maybe you can we do some sort of blind date here. People can ask you questions. That's going to get out of hand. Let's not do that. Okay, so Russell, what's Russell on? A 120.3 goes faster than Verstappen. That could be a bit of a story here. That could be a bit of a story. And Liam Lawson is getting knocked out, and Charles Leclerc is the first driver just ahead of the drop zone at the moment. Notice from India as well. Remember, put whatever you're thinking in the chat. If you're observing anything, if you spotted something, if you got any questions, put it in the chat. That's how we roll on these streams. We got the best chat, we got the best mods in the game. As Lando comes in, I think Lando might be done. We might not see Lando coming out again. Lance Stroll will be completing that lap now. Let's see if Lance Stroll is going to do a 1 minute 20 dead and get out of the drop zone. No, 121.2. Very slow from Stroll. Stroll's in big trouble here because I'm not sure Stroll's going to have enough time to go again. Colapinto's just chilling in the pits even though he's last. So maybe there's an issue with Colapinto. And Tsunoda in the Red Bull, that's quite important for the championship because I think Verstappen needs Tsunoda up there. So Tsunoda will really need to get out here. And at the moment, he's just behind Verstappen on track. Yeah, we're streaming from the UK. Although we stream these from all over the world. Alfonso just did a 120.5. So much, much quicker than Lance Stroll there. And still, Charles Leclerc with his 121.01 is still just by the skin of his teeth, not getting knocked out at the moment. Does Tsunoda have enough time to pull off another fast lap? I'm not sure. Let's see. I think he's probably limbering up for one. We will find out. Meanwhile, Verstappen doesn't box, so Verstappen's going to go around again. Which is interesting. Is Verstappen going for a fast lap now? I think he's doing maybe another warm-up lap. So we'll see. Is Tsunoda going to go around now, or is Tsunoda going to do another warm-up lap? We'll find out. Remember, there's been reports of quite strong winds in the area. Well, there doesn't seem to be strong now, but those crosswinds could change things. So Charles Leclerc surely is going to need to improve. Let's have a look here. 1 minute 38 to go. Leclerc comes round the last corner. And is he going to go up into P5 or 6 or something like that? Let's see if Charles Leclerc, traditionally a very good qualifier for Ferrari, does go P5, 120.5. Lewis Hamilton. Oh my goodness, that's bad for Hamilton. This is bad. Hamilton's going to get knocked out here, I would say. I think a 120.9 is going to be on the cusp. I think Hamilton's going to get knocked out. And Hamilton doesn't have enough time to get around again. So this is absolutely terrible for Hamilton's legacy. Especially as he's been battered handily by Leclerc there. 55 seconds to go. Both McLaren staying in the pits. They're safe. They're not going to get knocked out. Esteban Ocon starting his lap. See DRS wide open. Be interested to see where drivers are electing to use DRS in qualifying, actually. Tsunoda goes up into P2. That's going to be tight, but I think, you know, if Tsunoda gets knocked out, Hamilton's definitely getting knocked out. Liam Lawson all the way up into 20.5. But it's not looking fantastic for the second Red Bull. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Good to see you. Welcome on board. Hamilton is out now. As I predicted, Hamilton is out of qualifying. Chat, put F's in the chat there for Hamilton. Yeah. You need to do... Tsunoda is going to be on the verge here as well. Lance Stroll could knock out Tsunoda here. This is huge for the championship, in my opinion. No, he doesn't. 121 dead. What about Colapinto? Colapinto, remember Gasly was doing well earlier. Colapinto, no, doesn't either. So it may be Bortoleto. It may be Bortoleto and Ocon. So it's between Bortoleto and Ocon versus Tsunoda. But Hamilton's done. Hamilton's out. Hamilton's, dare I say, washed. Do we bring up the wash conversations as Ocon? Oh, can't quite get ahead of Tsunoda, so it's down to Bortoleto. Bortoleto knocks out Tsunoda. That's big for the championship now, because Max Verstappen has no Red Bull liveried allies up there. He might need to start leaning on Hadjar. He might need to start leaning on Lawson. What a shambles at Red Bull to get the second Red Bull knocked out. That's simply not acceptable. And Hamilton knocked out as well. Black is feeling bad for him. Magurka says Lewis is checked out. He's currently in the pits looking at Amy Wolf's profile. Well, it's good news for Amy Wolf, but it's bad news for, I would say, the rest of the Tifosi, with Hamilton knocked out. I'm going to have to start reposting some of the content I was making a year ago. I said I don't think this is a good move for Hamilton. I don't think it's going to be a good move. And what you don't want is the Tifosi turning against Hamilton. Polar says no. Yeah, Yuki's out as well. Welcome to Zoe as well. Let us know if Zoe's sometimes been at the track. Let us know if you're at the circuit today. Chat, how do we rate Lewis Hamilton's season out of 10? Put Lewis Hamilton's season out of 10 in the chat. Let's see what it is. But the bottom 5 are qualifying. Colapinto, Stroll, Hamilton, Ocon and Tsunoda. Lewis Hamilton. I mean, you're talking about someone who dominated karting in the UK. GP2 as well back in the day. Came into F1, electric. Top of the pyramid for years. For years and years and years, top of the pyramid. And now it feels like he's bottom of the pyramid. Chai, at the start of the season, I was willing to be leaning towards Hamilton. There's no excuse now. Yolanda giving 0. Chout Hamilton 3 out of 10. I've got a Lewis Hamilton helmet. I bought a Lewis Hamilton helmet. You know what though? You can't. All I have to do, I have to go back and just look at 2008 and stuff, and that's what I mean. I think it's damaging to legacy. Tsunoda saying he's been eliminated by Bortoleto. I think it's damaging for Hamilton's legacy. I think Aston Martin was damaging for Sebastian Vettel's legacy. I think Sebastian Vettel's legacy has been significantly, massively eroded by his time at Aston Martin. And I think the same thing will happen with Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari. Because it punctures the invincibility. Martin 3 out of 10, A4 3 out of 10, August crying out of 10, Mark 5 out of 10, DRN says Greece. Drew 0 out of 10. Even VNEC, who heads up the Lewis Hamilton fan club in the UK, is giving a -10. So that's a big moment there. Rodney 2 out of 10. And by the way, did we see George Russell provisionally fastest in that session? Athletes always stay on too long. You've got to leave the football before the football leaves you, I believe is the quote on Sky Sports. Yolanda, he should not have left Mercedes, although he said he does not regret he went to Ferrari. Yeah, I think he should have done year by year at Mercedes, honestly. I think he should have done a year by year. I think he should have done a year by year at Mercedes. Jorge, 8 out of 10. Davison, 3 out of 10. Someone's lap has to be deleted. Well, if someone gets a deleted lap, then Tsunoda would be back in. It's a good point, but I don't think it's going to happen. But you know, there's a significant amount of cope coming for you there. So good luck. Speaking of Lewis Hamilton, this is Lewis Hamilton's steering wheel. Any questions about the steering wheel, let me know in the comments. Because this thing is insane. There we go. Doesn't like focusing for some reason. Can you see my eyes, maybe? Very, very, very cool. Polar, it's live. Yeah, sometimes you just got to let it go, man. You just got to let it go. Behrman and Lawson do really good. Mohammed Al-Hamidi, do you reckon the new ZX mode and upgrade DRS? I'm not sure yet. We'll be making lots of videos on it. Zoe's saying we're still slow. But yes, that is the first part of qualifying done. Tsunoda, Ocon, Hamilton, Stroll, Colapinto have been knocked out here. Knocked out. So we will go into the second part of qualifying with both Saubers in the mix. And both Williams, a Haas, and a Alpine still there. Welcome, Philip. Chai saying start Q2 has been delayed. Yes, it has. They're clearing the track. They're clearing the track. Vagos, hello from Greece. Welcome. So what the trophies behind? These are all my racing trophies from real life. Actual trophies. These aren't made of paper. This one's nice. I like this one. I think that... What was that one? That was runner-up. That was runner-up for the championship. And I'm guessing this one was winning the championship. I actually like the runner-up trophy. 1 year I was runner-up. 1 year I won it. These ones here are first place in the rounds, I think. First place in the round, yeah. These were all in karting. They're refilling the gravel pits. Do they have gravel pits here? They do, but not that many, right? There's a lot of dust. Mr. Matrix, hope for DNF and McLaren. We don't need DNF. If you want your driver to win, it doesn't need to be a DNF. To me, it looks like Verstappen's already queued up, by the way. It looks like Verstappen's already queued up. Do I still race? I haven't karted for a little while, but I might get back into it in the new year, you know? I might get back into it. The thing is, people didn't watch the videos as much as the sim racing stuff. But now I've got a bit of time, I might edit some more karting videos and just see. If people watch it, 100% I'm there. So if you've got any racing questions, let me know. Erudits. Hamilton must be so depressed. Yeah, he does it. Checked out. VNet, can you get better than 6th grid position on Hamilton wheel? Maybe. Rodney, don't blame Ferrari. Charles is performing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Charles is P8. I would still say Charles was slower than Ollie Behrman. K-Tune creating, claiming the legend. Zara sponsoring Lando. Right, chat. Who do we think is going to get pole position? Ooh. Q2 underway. Who's going to get pole position today? Who's going to get pole position? I'm going to say... I'm going to go Piastri. I'm going to go Piastri. Even though my head says Lando, I'm going to go Piastri. Zara says Lando can. So what's your story? Ready to begin? I started karting at 18, which I thought was really old. But then I did a podcast the other day with Sam, my co-host, who's a professional karter, who's raced at the World Championships, European Championships. Like, he's beaten so many great drivers. And he only started at 16. There was me at 18, like, oh, I'm too old for this. I may as well not take it that seriously, so I'll just have fun. But in the end, I had so much. Maybe I had more fun because it was very clear to me that I wasn't going to get into F1 or anything. In my head, I was like, I assumed everyone starts karting at like 3 years old because I knew nothing about it. So I thought, I'm so far beyond this, I may as well just have as much fun as possible. And because I was having so much fun, I did it more and I got decent at it in these karts anyway. But it turns out, I mean, I was interviewing Jake Hughes, who drove a McLaren Formula 1 car this year. Jake Hughes started at 16 as well. So yeah, if there's anyone watching who's 18 or younger, just get into karting. Who knows what will happen. Davidson, now it's easy to say at the time Hamilton's mid-Ferrari made sense. No, Davidson. I said it at the time. It doesn't make sense. And the videos are on YouTube. So I'm going to repost them. You've convinced me I'm going to repost them. And I'm going to put a date on the top of it where I said it. Do I use contact lenses when I drove? Yeah, in karting I always wore contact lenses. I tried sometimes with glasses and I couldn't get it to work. Although real racing drivers often will, in endurance, will use glasses like Sebastian Bourdais, Jacques Villeneuve, etc. Davidson going Lando P1. TT saying Russell. Drew saying Piastri. Katoon, if Max wins both races and Norris comes second, who will win the championship? If Max wins this race, he takes it to Abu Dhabi. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. And it is, you were correct, Sahil. In English, it is drove. It's not driven, it is drove. You had it right the first go. You got it right. You got it right in one. Right, Alex Albon is going to set, I think, our first lap time here. No, he isn't. He's going to come in. Maybe he's made a mistake. So Alex Albon looks like he's aborted the lap time. But Carlos Sainz may set one here. Let's see. No, Carlos Sainz aborts. What's going on here from the Williams? That's unusual. So Nico Hülkenberg will be the first driver to set a lap time. And Hülkenberg with a 120.7, which is not that quick, to be honest. Not that quick. That would have got him knocked out last round. Tam will never understand Lewis Hamilton hate. Guys, people like to hate people who've been successful. That's just the sad factor of it. The more successful people are, the more people like to hate them. It's a bit of a paradox. People like people on the rise as an underdog, but sometimes people like that person on the rise because they're also hating the established people, and it's kind of like a proxy. So Verstappen also broke off fastest lap. Maybe something's going on. Maybe something's going on. Lars carted against Ari Lundiek. Who's Ari Lundiek? I've never heard the name. McGurkin, one of my friends used to race against Lewis from around 8 to 12. Remember seeing about Kim Bolton. Very nice. Where is he now? Your friend, that is, not Lewis Hamilton. What do the blue stripes mean? I think it means... I don't actually know what the blue ones mean. To me, it just feels like the tyres are cold, but that can't be it, so I don't actually know. Oh, he's a 2-time Indy 500 winner. Gosh, that's passed me by. Just ignore the loser take you. Honestly, when you're in a position that you're doing something successful and you know you've earned it, and you know that you are the underdog, and you're putting in the hours and you're working harder than everyone else, and there's a small proportion of people that just hate on you, it's honestly just great fuel, I find. It's just fantastic fuel that I'm grinding so hard. You hate me because I'm successful. It's just a self-fulfilling or fuel-filling kind of cycle. It's like, yes, this is good. Because 95% of people still love you. And they respect what you're doing. So there is a little bit of that. But then I think it could tip over once you stop becoming successful. If you stop becoming successful, you probably get less of the support of the people that supported you. But you still have that rump of like people who hate you, so you got to keep being successful. So Hamilton, some level, needs to kind of dig deep here and work out what Leclerc's doing, and by all accounts needs to change it. What we said, by the way, we were not talking about this on a small level, like we went deep dive. We said we're not sure it's going to work for Hamilton at Ferrari because Leclerc has quite a different driving style to Hamilton. Lando in P6 right now. Yeah, Piastri P7 right now, but they haven't set a lap time, so it's kind of irrelevant. Anyway, I've got a Lewis Hamilton karting helmet. I went out and bought it because, you know, we all... That's the thing about memories, isn't it? We all forget the memories. We all forget... If you're British, the amount of times Lewis Hamilton's won at Silverstone, right now you'd forget it. You wouldn't even know. But those moments were very real at the time. That's just the maybe sad nature of memories and the passing of time. As Oscar Piastri goes fastest, 1 minute 19.6. Hello, Oscar Piastri sandbagging in Q1. Amy says this is the worst birthday you ever had. Is it your birthday today, Amy? Our blue stripes pit exit and entry. Oh yeah, it could be. It could be because they're nearly at the beginning and end. Okay, makes sense. So Piastri 119.6, Lando with a 120.1. That's actually slower than Verstappen. In fact, Lando's time has been deleted. They've deleted Lando's time. I mean, I still remember Mika Hakkinen when Mika Hakkinen was a 2-time world champion. For me, going head to head with Schumacher. Well, I went to all the drivers there. Him going head to head with Schumacher. For me, Hamilton. Oh my days, Hakkinen is like an immortal. But right now, there's probably most people don't know who I'm chatting about, especially when I go. I conceal it in layers of different names to confuse you even more. Norris track limits, yeah, Norris done with track limits there. 7 minutes to go in Q2, everyone. So Behrman, what's Behrman up to? Starting a lap is Behrman. Liam Lawson might be boxing, yes he is. And George Russell is starting a lap now as well. Bortoletto will be starting a lap. And Alex Albon is coming into the pits. I'm not sure what's going on with the Williams here. When did I start watching? I'd say maybe mid-90s. After Senna. So I'm post Senna. Where did you chat? Let me know in the chat when you started watching Formula 1. What time did you start watching? It'll be really interesting to see. Everyone put when you started watching in the chat. So Lando right now in the drop zone. Getting a little bit shaky. It is someone's birthday. Well, happy birthday, Riva Guitar. The odds are, with 700 people watching, there should be, what, like... Is it 3,000 birthdays? You know how that weird formula thing is? Doesn't make sense. Erudit's 2003. Did you watch Interlagos 2003? Giancarlo Fisichella winning for Jordan. Sahil a month ago. Yeah, Mika Hakkinen's daughter is in McLaren. When I was at McLaren last time around, I saw Mika Hakkinen there. But I saw Mika Hakkinen's car. His Solus. 1988, Zara 2 years ago. Last 1988. Exno from Drive to Survive. Let me see these track limits. Oh yeah, he did the same thing as Tsunoda. He did it on the entry. He did it on the entry into turn 10. So you see turn 10, where Leclerc is now, everyone's getting track limits on the exit. So what they're doing is the drivers are really opening up the corner. And that's where Tsunoda got his penalty for in the sprint race. 2022 for Felix, Yolanda 2001. Was that Fernando Alonso's first season? Black John Lacey was my first favourite driver. Very nice. TT 2014. Matrix 2017, Jago 2016, Bradley 1972, Dre 2022. App saw the first race Schumacher and Jos Verstappen. Amy, I put Lewis on full volume in my dad's office. Does your dad have a subscription to give? Let your dad know. Does your dad have a vote to give? Let your dad know that I've been nominated for the Creator of the Year, and I'd greatly appreciate his vote if he could vote for me in the Autosport Awards. Pin link in the chat there. 1972, 1994. What a season start. VNet's got a pick in Jackie Stewart's car, 1972. Okay, 4 minutes to go, everyone. Lando Norris is currently last in qualifying. Yeah, it was Alfonso's first year in the Minardi. 2001. Did we have the Jaguars as well then? Was Button in the Williams in 2001? Riva last week. Hakkinen was huge in Finland. I can imagine he was huge in Finland. I mean, I get that. But he was huge in the UK. So was David Coulthard. David Coulthard was seen as a maybe one of the strongest in all senses of the word Formula One drivers. David Coulthard was a serious, intimidating driver. And I feel like people don't realise that now, maybe. But Coulthard in a McLaren was like as serious as it got in Formula One. Like you wouldn't mess around with him. And I feel like now he's almost seen like... I interviewed him in Monaco. Anyone remember that? Has anyone seen my video interviewing David Coulthard on the grid in Monaco? I feel like I've created too much content. I need to repost it. Russell saying, can we prep the clear visor for Q3? It's really dusty. Russell wants the white visor. Be cool, George. We got the white visor. It's okay. Oscar Piastri P1. Lando Norris, what are you doing, bruv? He is in Sector 1. He needs to get out of the drop zone here. 2 minutes 30 to go. And Dutch live blog saying Verstappen close to Piastri on a U set. Yes, he is. Oh, it was Ralph and Montoya in the Williams. Okay, so Montoya was in Williams before he went to McLaren. Cited, I remember watching on a Sunday lunch in the living room. Didn't understand what was happening last time. It seemed exciting. Turns out it was a race we lost Senna. I think that's how a lot of people watch when it was free. When it was free on TV, you'd kind of hear it through the living room into the kitchen because the cars were so loud. You'd be passively. It's a bit like passive smoking. You'd be passively like taking it in, and you know what I mean. Lando Norris. First sector. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for Lando. He's definitely gonna get into the top 10 here. He might go fastest, he might go second, he might go third. He goes second, he splits Piastri and Verstappen there. So there we go. Lando is through. V-neck right now we see if Lando has the guts for it. We could just playing F1 25, watching at the same time, doing that multitasking. 1 minute 20 to go. Who's in the drop zone? Charles Leclerc in the drop zone here. Bortoleto, Albon, Lawson, Antonelli, Gasly, Behrman, Alfonso, Hulkenberg are on the cusp here a little bit in the 120.4s. I think the cutoff is going to be a 120.4. It's going to be in there somewhere. That's what I think. So Charles Leclerc is going to be starting his lap. Hulkenberg is going to be starting his lap. Bortoleto is going to be starting his lap. Carlos Sainz, who's already in P5, is trying to improve. He's trying to improve here. Let's see. Carlos Sainz doesn't improve. Okay, so Bortoleto starts his lap. Alex Albon was trying to improve as well. Albon is not going to get out of the drop zone. No, Albon's out. So Albon's out. It's not looking fantastic for the Williams, even though Carlos is somehow in P5. So I don't know what happened there with Alex Albon, but he's out. Alfonso is going to try and improve. He does, and 120.2 gets ahead of that 1 minute 20.4. What about Hadjar? Hadjar going to try and improve as well. No, Hadjar doesn't improve there. But it looks like he's continuing. Hadjar may be continuing. It's difficult to see. Gasly goes up into P7, 120.3. I reckon Gasly will be through as well. Antonelli, who was in the drop zone, up into P4 now, 20 dead. That means Behrman's now in the drop zone. Behrman does not improve. Time's up, so only drivers can finish laps now. George Russell improves a little bit. Lando comes into the pits. What about Liam Lawson? Can Lawson get out of the drop zone here? Let's see. Lawson, no, at 120.4, but it's not fast enough. Charles Leclerc, important lap. Will Leclerc get out of the drop zone? Yes, he does. P9 for Charles Leclerc. 120.3. Piastri comes in. Hulkenberg going to try and improve here. He's in the drop zone. Can he beat out Hadjar? No, he can't. 120.3. Wow, so 120.3 you need. And finally, Bortoleto will be the last driver to go over the line here. Bortoleto, no, he can't. So that is our drivers that we're losing for Q2. Hulkenberg, Lawson, Behrman, Bortoleto, Albon. We're losing these 5 drivers. So both stakes don't make it through. So status is not going to be surf and turf. It's just going to be surf for Q3. Welcome, Jargo. Max Verstappen World Champion Formula 1 Grand Prix 2025. We will see. Now it's the all-important final course. It's a occasion where the dessert is the most important meal, because Q3 is going to set the grid for tomorrow in a circuit where we think it's going to be quite hard to overtake. Cited saying Gasly doing wonders with the Alpine. If you want to do wonders at home, make sure you're subscribed, by the way. Hit that subscribe button. Absolutely destroy it. And smash... Chat, there's 800 people watching, 141 likes. I want to see those likes go to 300. If you're watching, hit the like button. Chat, write it in the chat. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes pumped up. We're not going to win Creator of the Year if we're going to be on 141 likes with 800 people watching. We've got to do better than that, chat. We've got to do better. This is going to be spicy. I think it is going to be spicy indeed. So, Leclerc makes it through into qualifying, but the Ferraris look nowhere. Hadjar P10, Leclerc P9, Gasly P8, Sainz P7, Alfonso P6. Lots of cars there where you've only got one car from the manufacturer. The Mercedes, there or thereabouts, but let's not forget Piastri with 119.6 looks ominous. Django says, here's my prediction for the race. McLaren's both crash, but only Norris DNFs. Max win, Oscar recovers to third. Q3 is going to be very, very, very exciting, everyone. Don't go anywhere for Q3, because you've got to remember the championship. If Verstappen has a bad qualifying here, that's basically where the championship, I think, is going to be over for him. Likewise, if Lando bottles it and starts in P10, it's not going to be good news either. So you can't afford to make a mistake now. You cannot afford it. And this is what we like to see. We like to see drivers on the limit, on the edge. That is what we want to see, everyone. By the way, we're going to be back here for the race tomorrow. We will be back for the race. Thanks, V-Neck. Chai says he's super happy. Is it Gasly? Yeah, Gasly doing a great job here, trying to get those points for Alpine. Remember, next season, Alpine are not going to be a manufacturer. Alpine are pulling out of making engines. That's Renault, essentially. Which I think is shocking. When you think of Renault, you think of engines more than anything else in Formula 1. So... welcome Nigel Murphy, welcome Rory, welcome Sexten. Hulkenberg must have come to sponsorship with P11. He should be sponsored by a 7-Eleven or something. That'd be a smart move. Chai's got anniversary dinner. I think that's a fair enough priority, everyone. Do we think that's a fair enough priority? No way Lawrence letting Lance go. I mean, he could put him in the Valkyrie. What's Adrian Newey? Adrian Newey might say it's me or Lance. It's me or Lance. And you kind of can't say no to Adrian Newey. Right? You can't say no to big Adrian. Yeah, Gasly's really excited. Right, we're waiting for Q3, everyone. Yeah, Miss Not So Nice. Do we think there's a chance Newey can convince Lance Stroll to bench his son and invest in a proven driver? That's exactly. I agree with you. By the way, Max Verstappen is already queuing at the front of the pit lane. And Charles Leclerc follows him. So they're not messing around. Gangster Adrian. Adrian Newey's going to go all gangster on Lawrence Stroll. McGurkin, it might sound shocking, but Renault, Nissan and Mercedes have collaborated on road cars before. Well, Renault and Nissan are basically the same company, famously. Isn't their CEO still on the run? All the anniversary guests can join the stream. They may not like it. They may not like it. Q3 starting at 2 minutes. Miss Not So Nice. Newey is like a Michelin chef. They don't want someone who just eats Mackies having their food. They want people... That is such a good comment. Oh my god. You should be... Why don't you write for like a newspaper? Newey is like a Michelin chef. They don't want someone who just eats Mackies having their food. They want people who can really appreciate and get the most out of their creation. That is one of the best comments I've seen all year. Chat, what do we think about that comment? That's an insane comment. I'm going to copy that and credit you. I might post that. Carlos ghosted. Didn't he smuggle himself out of the country in a bin? Didn't he put himself in the bin and smuggle himself outside of the country? I'm not even sure. I don't even think that's made up. I think that's what happened. Choice, that's a 10 out of 10 comment. Amy, insane comment. That's like goat tier. That's the kind of comments you only get on this stream. You don't get that if you're watching on Sky Sports. You're not going to get that kind of insight. Generational comment. Those kind of comments don't come, you know, they don't happen all the time. It's like Max Verstappen. It's like the Max Verstappen of comments. But we're putting so much pressure on Mr. Not So Nice now. We're putting so much pressure on you for your next comment. The pressure's unbelievable. There's more pressure on you for your next comment in this stream than there is on Lando Norris for his Q3 lap. Mark says, show us more of your wisdom. Gasly's a great driver, deserve another go in the top 14. That's race winner, Pierre Gasly. Right, Q3's underway, and as promised, I can tell you that Max Verstappen is leading the charge out of the pits. Let's go indeed, everyone. Let's go. LFG. Let's finally go, as the kids say. That's what they say. Hurrah! Let's finally go. I don't. Has a thumbs up counter broken? Have we just got too many? We got too many likes? I mean, I would hope we're on more than 190 likes. Honestly, if we're on 190, I feel like we should be doing better. That's like getting knocked out in QT. What sim seat do you recommend? GT Mega Inertia bucket seat. Honestly, don't get this one. Get the inertia one. Get the bucket seat. Nick says, let's go. Lahaya, can Red Bull keep their car consistent for more than one session? Mission level impossible. Amy burnt my toast. Where is my mind? Like the cranberries. Okay. So Verstappen is going to set the first lap here. He's about to start his flying lap. Zara says, Lando, you can do it. Chat, support your favourite driver in the chat. It's not often we come the whole way this season. I've streamed these from around the world. We've come a long way. Even from the F175 launch, we absolutely memed on stream. So this is it. This is a time to support your favourite drivers. You can just spam the chat within reason. The mods may regret I said that, but just spam the chat with your support. You can do it here. TT supporting Russell. Welcome, Johnny. Jargo's crying for Albon. Winfred Cheng is going for Max. So Verstappen on a fast lap right now. Let's see what happened. Where is Max Verstappen? 35.4. He's backed out, hasn't he? He's backed out. I'm sure he's backed out of that. Maybe it's a psych from Verstappen. Maybe he's playing 5D chess. And Lando, a 29.2 first sector. That's a half second with Leclerc. Lando and Kim in the chat from Eve. Stu saying, let's go Max. Johnny splitting Mercedes. Zara Lando. Darren Hamilton. It's a bit, yeah, a bit awkward. So, Lando a 10th quicker than Piastri in Sector 1. Lando a 10th quicker than Piastri Sector 1. So we can't say who's your favourite driver. Okay, so Lando Norris, 29.2 Sector 1, 26.9 Sector 2. And Lando does a 1:19.4. That's the fastest lap we've seen today from Lando. And Verstappen is he going to be flying off this lap? Verstappen's flying off this lap. Bit of a cheeky one. Gets a slipstream. Verstappen could be on a big run here. Hadjar goes a 20.1, but is Piastri we're looking at? Is Piastri, all eyes on Piastri as Russell also starts a lap. So Oscar Piastri, will he go faster than Lando? No. 1:19.5. First game to Lando here, but keep an eye on Verstappen. 1:29.337. It's not quick. It's not quick for Verstappen in Sector 1. It's not quick. That's not going to be quick enough for Max Verstappen. It looks like it's going to be between the McLarens here, I would say. It's going to be between those McLarens. Oh my goodness, 29.2 for George Russell. Keep an eye on 29.2 for Russell here. Keep an eye on the Mercedes, everyone. Keep an eye on the Mercedes. 29.2 is lightning for Russell. Faster than Kimi. Carlos Sainz again, not relevant for that's not going to be fast enough. Just forget that. 27.1 sector 2 for Russell. Meanwhile, Verstappen at 119.9. It's not quick for Verstappen at all. I think Russell's going to beat him. I think Russell's going to go ahead of Verstappen here. I'm just interested to see what's Russell up to. Not setting purples, but it could be consistent. Let's see. George Russell, I reckon he's going to go P3. He does go P3 at 1 minute 19.8, but that is 3/10, chat. 4/10 behind Lando Norris. Lando Norris, everyone, is on the move here. Lando Norris on the move. And Antonelli P6. Meanwhile, Alfonso, what's Alfonso going to do? P7 for Alfonso. Okay, so we have our first set of lap times complete. Charles Leclerc just doesn't want to get embarrassed, frankly, and doesn't want to get out. Back saying so far so good. If anyone's supporting Lando in the chat, if you're supporting Lando, get your papaya out. If you remember, you got the papaya emojis here. What's Max thinking about that lap? What's Hamilton thinking? Not good for Hamilton. Just Do It says, Alfonso going to be a dad. He'll be breaking into 130R now. Since I've become a dad, I honestly think I'm racing harder than I've ever raced. I don't know what it is, but... Oh my goodness, Leclerc did a 720. Leclerc genuinely did a 720. He hit that little gravel thing. That's the clip. That's the clip that's going to be memed because it shows how difficult that Ferrari is to drive. Leclerc with a no scope. Nathan, I need Lando and Russell on pole to win that big hundo. You're going for that big hundo? So let's see. Lando provisionally P1, Piastri P2, Russell P3, Verstappen P4, Hadjar P5, Antonelli P6, Alfonso P7, Sainz P8. 9th is for Gasly, and 10th. Red flag! I think because of the gravel that Leclerc kicked up. I think it's because of the gravel that Leclerc's kicked up, I'm going to guess. We are in red flag conditions now. Ooh. Now that's going to be interesting because what does that do for the track? For me, that's going to stop the track being rubbered in as much. And it might mean the track doesn't get faster. We're in red flag conditions. Something is being kicked up. I think something might have fallen off Charles Leclerc's car. Kind of looks like an entrail or something. It doesn't look appetizing. It looks like I was in Lyon. I went to Le Mans a few weeks ago to Lyon, via Lyon. I know they're not. It's a complicated story. I was there for the GP Explorer. Do not go into Lyon authentic restaurants. You know when you go to different countries and like I'm gonna go like where the locals eat. Don't do it in Lyon. Do not do it. Blacker says all clear now. Yeah, all clear. Oh, it was sticky tape. Okay, that's why it looked kind of a bit weird. Sticky tape. Lahai saying Ferrari looking awful this weekend. Yes. Okay. Still was a yellow flag after the red. They went red and then they went yellow. Can Lando win? Davidson says, I was such a Lando hater, but he win me over. Go Lando. Beanod is supporting Max. I feel like there's more Lando supporters in chat than Max supporters. So the track is clear now, but the timer is not going down, chat. We got a green flag, but the... We'll resume at 10... Oh, it's going to resume in 2 minutes. It's going to resume at 2 minutes. It's 10 o'clock local time. Zara says, why do you hate Lando? Who's hating on Lando? What's your opinion on the Vegas Grand Prix situation with McLaren's? It's very dramatic. I mean, they kept Verstappen in it. Crazy, don't you like snails? Not particularly. EVB, Lando really deserves to win World Championship. EVB is supporting Lando here. Mr. Not So Nice, I actually love Ferrari, but the car is so unstable this year. Doesn't seem well planted. Tiny rear end twitches. Yeah, I saw an onboard of Leclerc start in the sprint race. Looks like they're fishing. There's a dude with scissors. They've gaffer taped something onto the Williams. It's very old school. I like it. The chief gaffer tape. Oh, there's a Marshall sprinting. Don't fall over, bro. Picks it up. So basically, they gaffer taped the Williams, and the gaffer tape came off, I think. Amy says, my dad eats Neils in the office. Well, he's a cannibal then. Who is Lando? Lando Norris is a Formula 1 driver driving for McLaren. McGurkin, Max has gotten better. So yeah, honestly, I think you get dad speed. I think you get dad speed. Ferrari's effing them over. Everyone knows. No, he doesn't. Maybe they learned from Vegas stopping this time instead of letting the time run. Yes, maybe. Some very cool Knight Rider lights on the back of the cars that we very rarely see. What are the chances that pole position has changed? I think unlikely. I don't think anyone's going to beat a 19.4 kind of coming out cold here. It's a bit like a false start in sprints, in sprinting. The tape was on the rear wheels of the car. Bit unusual that. Tape up the rear wheels. Seems like you get less traction on tape than tyres, but there we go. SPO Aviation, if you could go slow at the start, we know why. Didn't we think this with maybe Perez was going to do this last season? While we're waiting, chat, let's do another nation check. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. I want to see all the countries in the chat. Put your country in the chat here as we wait for the final laps of the Qatar qualifying session. Norris tends to fumble it. Let's see. Johnny from Slovakia coming in first. China, Netherlands, Slovenia and Slovakia in the chat. Zara, India. Khatun, Pakistan. Yolanda, Netherlands. Nathan, USA. Seishan, India. Binod, India. Zara, India. Vlak, Croatia. EVB, Louisiana. Martin, Netherlands. Lahai, Netherlands. Binod, India. Mark still in the Netherlands. Are you circling? SPO, America. August, Lithuania. Amy, Austria. McGurkin, UK. Wave, Netherlands. Dre, Australia, 3am. I respect the commitment. Bradley, Valencia. Buttons, Mumbai. Gertina, Monaco. Winfred, Singapore. Stu, Canada. Geordie, Belgium. Sponsored Singapore as we're finally seeing the cars come out. Sponsored South Africa. Emmy from Finland. Zoe's in Qatar. Just Do It US. Padraig Ireland. Rookie Australia. Hayson from Iraq. Platan from Britain. And Achla from Ghana. Hello to Ghana in the chat. It's not often. I don't think we normally get that many from Ghana. But welcome to Ghana. If you're going to watch a stream, you may as well watch it here. So Russell is going to be first to set a lap time. Then Norris, Leclerc, Alfonso, Hadjar. I wonder if Verstappen will come out of the back of the train. Rodney from Malawi. Erudites will be a massive fun ending to quality. It's so crucial. You were so close to writing that comment. Here we go, everyone. Oh, and hit the like button as well. Come on, it's 226 likes, chat. We should be past 300. We know that. We know that. No, we don't. We definitely don't pray for accidents. How would you feel if you prayed for an accident and someone died? How would that weigh on your conscience? Norris in P2. Are we looking at a future world champion? Will he be a world champion by this time tomorrow? Let's see. It's going to be George Russell first. And it looks like Sainz. Yes, Sainz is going to be the last driver. So look at the traffic Russell's going to have to deal with here. I wonder whether Verstappen... No, Verstappen is... You have to deal with a lot of traffic when you're front of the train. What's Russell doing? Has Russell backed out? Looks like Russell's backed out. Is Norris going for it? Oh, it's confusing here. Is Norris going for it? Or has Norris backed out? Maybe they're doing 2 laps to warm up, everyone. Maybe they're doing 2 laps to warm up. Yeah, Norris has backed off as well. There's all shenanigans here. Now Russell, maybe he wants Russell to go past. Meanwhile, Leclerc's on the fast lap. Yeah, Russell's got to overtake Lando again. It's going to be complicated for Charles Leclerc. It's all a bit of a nonsense, this. It's all a bit of a mess, I have to say. Russell and Norris very close together. Meanwhile, Alfonso is steaming through. They're going to have to let Alfonso through as well. Look at this for Lando now. Lando causing maybe a little bit of gamesmanship there. Could there be a little bit of gamesmanship? Because as it stands, Lando is provisionally pole for tomorrow. Now Alfonso gets through. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri sets the fastest lap out of anyone. There's no mind games for Piastri here. Piastri's going for pole, everyone. Piastri is going for pole. Verstappen goes faster. Verstappen goes fastest. 29.1 for Verstappen. 29.1 for Verstappen. Pressure on Lando here. Lando's not going to make it round. Lando's been cooked because he's had to let so many drivers through. Lando's messed this up. He's not going to get around. Russell's going to do a fast lap. Lando's there for the taking. Verstappen fastest sector 1. Piastri fastest sector 2. I think McLaren and Lando Norris have messed this up. Piastri's going to overtake Lando here. Lando's giving a bit of slip to Piastri. Oh my goodness me, does Piastri? He does! Piastri goes provisionally fastest. Norris is not going to be on pole position tomorrow. What about Verstappen? What about Verstappen? Oh my goodness, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Piastri P3. P3 for Verstappen. But you know what? What we've seen in Formula 1 this season, you don't want to be P2. Remember Zandvoort. You don't want to be P2. It's a driver in P3 who so often swoops past a driver in P2. So Verstappen's in a great position here so far. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to overtake him. Let's keep an eye on Russell. Let's see Russell. Russell could overtake him here. It could be Russell. Keep an eye on George Russell here. I don't know what Norris was doing. He didn't set a lap time. Absolute mess from Lando. And Russell, is he going to overtake Verstappen? This could be huge. No! By the closest of margins. 1/100th of a second. Imagine taking a second, right? Take a second. Now put 100 things in there. Just one of those separates Verstappen and George Russell. Is imperceptibly close. As human beings, we are not capable of understanding how close that is. It's basically the same lap time. Chat, do we think that's a fumble by Norris there? Do we think it's a fumble by Lando? And I called it. I said Oscar Piastri's going to get pole position here. My head says Lando, but I'm going to go Oscar Piastri, and I've called it. The top 3 contenders in the top 3, yes, indeed. But Oscar Piastri is going to be feeling like an absolute G right now. It's less than a blink of an eye. Does anyone know how long of a blink of an eye is? I reckon a blink of an eye is way more than the 100th of a second. So it is literally a blink and you'll miss it. Lando doesn't look happy at all. Lando takes off his knee pads. Oh, the camera pans down to P2. Lando, a big miscalculation there from Lando. And I think George Russell may have messed it up for Lando. Because George Russell was behind Lando in sector 1, yet somehow George Russell managed to finish the lap and Lando didn't. Exactly. blink of an eye covers the top 4 positions. If you blink, you may as well... That's it. It's a blink. That's the top 4. It's like a machine gun.
Keep your head down.
Congratulations, Piastri. It's a perfect track for Oscar. Goodness me, chat. Goodness me. Oscar Piastri. What have you done? What have you done here? Well, this is a very exciting race for tomorrow. Piastri gets out of his car, gives a little fist to the camera, and one to himself. Is he going to congratulate Lando? Goes on the weighing scales. Imagine if there was some ride height issues tomorrow as well. Because it's all very well doing this in qualifying, but McLaren got to work out the ride height for tomorrow. They got to work out that ride height. Mohammed Ben Sulayem is keeping order. Are we going to have another Abu Dhabi 2021 situation this season? Zach Brown looks a bit... doesn't look super happy. Why wouldn't you be super happy if one of your drivers on pole position? When is the race tomorrow? I've scheduled the stream for 3 o'clock UK time. I don't know if that's correct or not. I guess we'll find out. Poor Lando EVB. Chat, give us your hot takes of that in the chat. We'll stay live with this. Lando goes over to Oscar. And a bit of a handshake between all of them. They know it's close margins. They know it's down to brass tacks. Mohammed bin Sulayem, I don't know what you need to be doing in here at the moment, head of the FIA. What's this got to, anyway? 3 UK being okay, so we got it right then. Max will win. Is there a conflict of interest in McLaren? Everybody says, what the hell's going on? Mohammed bin Sulayem is right in the middle of all of this. What's Mohammed bin Sulayem got to do here? You know, it's the FIA who disqualified both McLarens from Las Vegas. So there is a big adjudication, impartial adjudication thing for the FIA to do. So I don't know why Mr. Mohammed bin Sulayem is right in the middle of all of this. You know? This is a bit like, at the end of a football match, the head of, like, the referees association kind of being with the teams, like, you know, on the pitch. Like, it's a bit... Now Sulayem's... Oh, he's giving advice to Verstappen. Sulayem's got his hand on Verstappen's helmet and his other hand on Verstappen's shoulder. I'm not even joking. He gives Verstappen a bit of a shoulder rub. Sulayem is all over everyone here. Oh, they're going to do an interview with all 3 of them, I think. Should we listen in? I'll listen in, let you know what's going on. Being asked if they needed to fix something on the McLarens. I don't think you need to fix the qualifying. Ride height's not a problem. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Oscar says. Oscar's happy. Yeah, the drivers think they're going to be pushing hard tomorrow because it's going to be like 2 sprints back to back in a way. Oscar looks relaxed. It looks like classic Oscar. Just going to ask about lap. And it doesn't know what happened. Ando looks a bit troubled by this. There's nothing to complain about, but... They're saying it's all down to the first couple of laps. Look how quick the mods are. Best mods in the game here. Lando saying the car feels good. Saying the qualifier's better. And you felt a bit happier in the car. Max doesn't look that happy, so we'll see. I think the car's been fixed. But he said the car's still not amazing, but you would say that, but... Yeah, okay. Well. Piastri's going to start on pole. Piastri, what's the gap now between Piastri and Lando? Is it like 21 points? If it's 21 points, chat. If it's 21 points and Piastri gets 7 more points, that means it will come down to 14 points for the last race. And 14 points might be enough that it's just a bit awkward for Lando. He can't completely chill, but he has to, you know what I mean? Great photo for the media there because I got all of the title protagonists, all 3 of them. And there's some kind of like, who's giving the Alton Mason, who's a model. He's forgotten to do his shirt up though. We all forget things from time to time. 22 points. Okay, so it would be 15 points. Right, chat. You don't want to miss it tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. So 3 o'clock, we'll be here for a full hour-long pre-show for the Qatar GP, where Lando could wrap this up. It could set things for the final race season in Abu Dhabi. And these are the last moments of these engine regs where we're going to see drivers so close together, we think. So we should enjoy it. Remember, Lando had that engine failure in Zandvoort. Without that engine failure, Lando's won this championship, hasn't he? I mean, Lando is so close to wrapping it up here. It's pretty crazy, actually. Yolanda Verstee's got the points. Norris 396, Piastri 374, Verstappen 371. Okay, so the stream for tomorrow is live. Let me get you the link for it. So make sure to go here and leave your like, set your notification so you don't miss it. That's the stream for tomorrow. I just put it in chat. But otherwise, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for what I think is just going to be an unmissable race. Let's see how it goes. If it finishes like this, it goes down to the last race of the season. Great. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining, and I'll